my name is Sascha Gabizon. I'm the director of an international women's environment network we call Women in Europe for a Common Future. And we were created in Rio in 1992 to give a voice to the women's organizations from our region, which goes from Central Asia, Caucasus, Eastern Europe to the European Union region, so that women could fully take part in the international negotiations on sustainable development. So we have had this role of representing often the women's major group in the Commission for Sustainable Development together with other partners. And currently I'm also doing that. I'm co-chairing the women's major group for the Rio+20 preparations together with my partner from Africa, Voices of African Women. So the two of us have been given this official role in the preparations. And one of the things we're trying to do is to get a lot of engagement of women from around the world, although we have no resources at the moment for that. And one of the things we're doing to get women involved is an award for women and the green economy, to bring best practices of how women are already in their communities working on implementing sustainable development at home. And we hope then to bring some of the winners to Rio so that they can present these best practices and that the governments can say, hey, these are really good, we should upscale them and we should make sure we have the enabling conditions to upscale these women's projects on sustainable development. And we also very much encourage young women to respond to that award and also to get in contact with us. We already have normally an exchange with the youth and children's major group, so that the young girls from them join the women's major group meetings and we exchange our information and they learn something from us and we learn a lot from them on things like how to use new social media. So that is how, we encourage also the young women to get involved with us and contact us, and you can find us on the website. So if you go on www.uncsd2012.org and you go under major groups, you click on women, you'll find our contact details and our information. Well, our hopes are that we will have one thing very clear from Rio, that without women, we cannot have sustainable development. We need women really to be involved at all levels of policy making and of implementing sustainable development. And so far that has been, I think, one of the barriers, that in many countries we have not had the rights for women to be fully involved, the support for women to be fully involved. And it starts with easy things like not having childcare, or not having equal pay, or not even having the right to vote or to be in boards of directors. And so I think it's one of the barriers we have seen. So we hope we can make that link to social equity, gender equity, environmental protection, and the need for economic development, which is in harmony and balance with these rights, and that should be the main step forward. Now, of course, I was in Rio myself in 1992, and Rio was an incredible experience. We were hundreds of thousands of civil society representatives, and we were helping to write the Agenda 21, which has so many chapters and such good things in there. And it was the basis really for a lot of very important international agreements, like the Climate Convention, the Biodiversity Convention. And I think we have moved a lot forward because of Rio in 1992. But we also have seen that we are not moving fast enough. When we look at climate change, we have, terrible climate problems. At the moment, Namibia is underwater. We have had Pakistan underwater, but still we get more and more of these disasters. We had the tornadoes in the south of America, the USA, but even with these disasters, people are not moving fast enough. We don't have the right incentives. And what I find very hopeful or hope-giving from Rio is that we're going to talk about the green economy. Now, of course, we see this as a pathway towards sustainable development. And we don't talk about the green economy, we talk about the green and fair economy, or the green and equitable economy. Of course, we want to have this social equity very much ingrained in this idea of the pathway towards sustainable development. But the green economy concept is very interesting because it shows us that we might want to have a green economy, but currently we're subsidizing the brown economy, and we have an unfair playing field. Now the UNEP estimates that we have 600, 700 or 900 billion dollars in subsidies for fossil fuels and nuclear energy. The European Commission is planning to increase its research budgets for nuclear activities. It already took 50% of the entire research budget, and the nuclear industry hasn't been able to find any solutions to those very pressing issues, such as waste management. And we work with victims in the areas in Russia and in Kazakhstan where the nuclear waste goes to, and we are seeing the immediate health effects on the people in these communities. And that, we feel, is the main barrier to real sustainable development, and something we need to address in Rio+20, 20 years later. And that's also what we need to really achieve in the next 20 years after Rio+20. We have to have a way to have liability, accountability, redress by corporations. We should no longer be ruled by the energy sector, as is the case now in most parts of the world. We also need binding agreements for the mining sector. The mining sector is devastating. It is very violent. We have a lot of violence against women and children in the mining sector. That has gone without any punishment of the corporations. They're making a lot of money on the back of women's and children's lives and health. And so these issues, which we have not been able to address them in the Agenda 21, we have not been able to address them in Johannesburg. The lobby against civil society was too strong. We tried to have a chapter on energy in Agenda 21, which finally was put out. So I think these sectors, these are the big, brown, bad sectors, and we need to address them, and we need to get them to be responsible and accountable and transparent. And that is what I hope we will be able to start achieving in Rio+20.